Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have now arrived at part 2. So first part you saw all the women having their delusional dance off with nothing conclusive in the end. And I think that they have rightly pointed out that it's who's the most extroverted, I guess the noisiest or most obnoxious, that gets first place, and who's the most submissive and cooperative and agreeable, that is in the last place. So as I've mentioned in the previous clip, everyone's put on their headphones. It's time to line up for the firing squad, and let's bring in the gents.
Do you want to start it off?
You want to
The men, of course, are nervous. No one wants to be, being judgmental in front of women. But behind closed doors, all men, when we all get together, we'll rank all the women that we know in multiple rankings, alright, in multiple scores, in multiple scales, unimaginably, and we ask a lot of questions of who would you type of scenarios here. And the men know what's at task. They are separating this uncomfortable moment here to really objectively put the women in place, and this is going to be really interesting.
Go over there, and then just shift down.
I think Michelle was the most attractive. How she looked, how she carried herself, and it just seems like someone that's going to live an exciting life, I guess you could say, or that you could have like a deep conversation with.
Could you switch with her? I forgot, they can't even hear me.
Yeah. You got a point. Okay.
What would you switch?
I switch her and her. You go over there. Or,
those two. Okay. All right.
and then you over there. You switch.
She's like in absolute disbelief. Me? Number 3? To this lady, this lady here? She cannot believe it herself, She thinks she's a dancer, she said, she's really fit, and, she must be thinking she's the bomb, and like, my goodness, how come this, number 5 has overtaken me all the way to number 1? Look at that upgrade, and when they moved her there, when they placed her at position, all men were in agreement, because objectively, they are looking for someone they can, like he said, have an interesting conversation with, and without someone biting their head off every minute, right? So they want someone that is on their program and is compatible with them. And if you look at the pleasantness and the femininity, it's very obvious where they are, ranking up. And then you add in, looks and physique. It's not very hard. It's not very hard at all.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Personally, for me, she kind of looks like Kristen Bell. And I really like Kristen Bell, so I'd probably put her in on the 1 or 2 position. And I kind of like her vibe. I think her whole aesthetic is very nice. So for me, it's either 1 or 2 up here. I think that Maria was the most attractive for me. It was just like her whole vibe, and I liked how her hair was, how her makeup was done. She looked very nice.
It's good. It's healthy. You see, and it's subjective, right? Some men may like blondes, some men may like brunettes, some men may like Asian women, Caucasians, African American, you name it. So there are some nuances, like I said, but they can roughly put, like I said, 2 to 3, 1 to 2, 5 and 4, it's there. So there are some finer differences, but women, like I said, totally are rating and totally off what men want. And the question is, are women looking for men? And are men looking for women? And who's the driver's seat to offer a relationship? It's men. Let's go on.
Are we content with 5 being 5?
I'm not.
Where do you currently want
No.
5?
I want her at least 3.
So 5 goes up.
She should be a 4 because it's like meeting in the middle.
I think 4 is
Yeah.
fine. 5 and 4? Switch?
We're gonna get ripped a new one.
I don't want to be the pointer here.
Guys are not afraid to be more blunt. They were straight up, hey, you're attractive, you're not. But girls were like, I don't want to be rude, we're all beautiful in our own way.
All right.
Are we good?
We're good.
I'm good.
We're locking in.
God, that was ruthless. I feel bad.
We feel bad. Don't get us wrong, right? Ladies, men do feel bad, but men know they have a task. They need to achieve that task, and they need to be objective in their task. So when their feelings are there, they compartmentalize it and get the job done. Can see the lady number 5 is not happy. She knows her ranking. She knows where she stands amongst the ladies. But you can see that she rejects the notion because she has a wonderful personality. And look at number 3. Her actual characteristic is coming out. You can see she's bossy, she's definitely aggressive, she exhibits male and masculine characteristics, you see. So if you look at the right, femininity, look in the middle, masculinity, and then if you look at the very left, is physical attributes here. So these are the things men are looking at, right? And are you presenting this on a daily basis to all men that you interact with? In my opinion, right? Men have got it right. Now, for the lady number 4, I think that'll be subjective again, and perhaps they have to look a little bit more because it's again down to personal preference. But I can clearly say number 1 and number 5 are there, and number 2 and 3 and 4 could be on the subjective side, right? But you see the segregation is clear cut.
The way the guys were ranking the girls, I actually think we were doing it mostly by personality.
I was super anxious about ranking them. My hands were getting all clammy. I was like really uncomfortable being the one to be like putting them where I thought.
It's obviously something that we do like in day-to-day life. We rank people subconsciously, but having to do it like in front of them and like them watching you rank them wasn't fun, but definitely a memorable experience.
Well, I was at 5, and now I'm here, so I'm like, thank you. I don't know. It's very interesting, I feel.
Pleasant, humble, easy to get along. What's there not to like?
Did think coming into this, like, cultural stereotypes would be a factor. Them ranking me first kind of shot that down, I guess, because I didn't think they would choose, like, an Asian girl first.
I think when I think of a male viewing me as attractive or not versus a female, it's definitely different. Because in a male setting, judging me, I knew that was gonna happen. Like, I'm not stupid. So, like, I'm aware of how others view me.
I was surprised at them placing me at the bottom, but at the same time, I know out of a room of beautiful girls that I was put in, that from the jump, there was no chance for me. There was no chance there.
Me being the only black girl, like, I knew that I wouldn't really rank.
Oh, yeah.
Not true at all. There are so many beautiful black women, and I would like to say that don't put yourself down at all. Right? Don't think of it that way. Focus on what you can do and be that positive, pleasant, attractive woman and maximize that potential that you are. Don't be surprised like number 5, right? Surprised but not surprised.
American beauty standards versus what people see, people of color, it's different.
The guys that I interact with, they socialize more with black women and they think more black women are attractive.
I think that the guys ranked the woman from appearance more than personality.
Do you usually feel like you're the most attractive person?
Most of the time.
I feel like it just confirms that attractiveness is so subjective and circled and presented in one way, and it always has been.
Even though I have my days where I'm like, ugh, you not really that cute, and days where I'm like, ooh, you cute. I would say I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change.
change is inevitable. Even if you don't want to change, with age and the passage of time, you will change. All things will submit to gravity. So how do you constantly improve yourself to weather the effects of time? And again, being on the show, I'm sure everyone will speak a little more, politely, and will be a bit more politically correct, and a little bit more sensitive to how they say it. However, if you don't want to change, which I think she does, but if you don't want to change, then how will you get better, right? So all these ladies know this is the American beauty standard, so there is a standard. How are you working to improve your ranking among the standard? And if the effort is not there, if the focus is not there to improve your ranking per se, then how do you expect to improve your outcome? So is this not who can has the best personality? And even then, I think it's pretty apparent from just the way that they have spoken already. But it's really having a deep introspective look at yourself. Because for men, the world will just look at them and be very objective here. How much money do you make? What are your connections? What is your job? And do you have a career? How much, what kind of assets do you have? Are you ambitious? All these are very clear-cut, measurable. Are you 6 feet? All these are highly measurable, very objective, and men are being measured and sized up all the time, right? But for women, they have been spoiled too long. I guess too many people have been coddling their feelings, more than men, if you ask me. And they have this sense of, I'm precious, and I am a unique, one of a kind, just like everyone in the world kind of mindset. And that dangerous part, without them knowing it, they have an overinflated sense of ego, which is dangerous in my opinion, because if you don't know where you stand, if you don't know where is your hierarchy and where do you fit in, then you always land up to be an outlier, a rebel. And it's not necessarily a good kind of rebel, because you will then become unhappy and bitter. Unless of course you're saying, hey, I'm not interested in men. That's cool. But you have the same problem with women regardless, right? And you find working with another lady sometimes very emotionally charged and complicated. So I hope you found this interesting. I found this a very interesting clip. And looking forward to hear any comments that you have. And let's, look forward to another clip. So wishing you all a safe evening. Stay safe.